we need to talk about local AI and what is possible to run on these kind of machines. Now, I discovered something really important I want to share with you because it's kind of surprising and disappointing at the same time. Now, before we start, I want to share you one thing, why I get into this local AI. So, I've been using AI since ChatGPT came out, okay, 3-4 years time. And more and more, I've been adding AI to my work. Now, I can't even think about running a business without the use of AI. Okay, what's happened to me that I use AI to augment my ability. Now I can do more, I can do faster, I can do better. And that is already a lot. But then I started doing things that I couldn't do before. So now I can do things like coding, for example, that I couldn't do before. And this opened the amount of possibility that I have. My feeling was like, okay, now that I can't stay without AI. I need it. Okay, of course, I can adapt and so on. But the idea of working without AI is not an idea that I'd like to address, okay, a direction that I like to do. Therefore, I felt like I need to have at least a simple AI, a basic model that I can control it. It's mine. It's always going to be there. I don't want to leave. I don't want to live without. So because I have this now, I can sleep much better. So this is my personal reason. But there are even better reasons than just sleep at night. Okay, and the direction of using local AI is pretty simple. Okay, if you want to really learn how AI works, you need a machine like this one, nothing else, a machine like this one. If you want total privacy, you need to run AI locally. If you want total sovereignty, you need a local AI. Now, let's go back to what I discovered. Actually, before we do this, okay, I need your help. I need you to help me grow this channel. Okay, so you need to like, subscribe, watch the video until the end, and leave a comment. Let me know what kind of model you use, if you have a machine like this one or something else. I'm going to share some data during this video, so you can also tell me if this data match your experiences, because there is something really kind of upsetting about what I discovered. Before, for those people that don't know what this machine here is, this is Asus GX10. Okay, this is the equivalent, because inside it's exactly the same, of the NVIDIA DGX Spark. Those machines are like of a micro supercomputer. Okay, inside have the GB10 processor. This is an incredible system to run AI, for training AI. You can do everything with this one. Okay, the only problem those machines have, apart of being expensive, the only problem is the RAM is low. Okay, therefore inference is a little bit slow. So in the sense, a MacBook M5 Pro Max with 128 gigabytes of RAM costs more than double of this, but run at almost double of this speed. Okay, so there is a difference there. Now, what I learned yesterday, I was watching this video, and was this person testing this latest MacBook Pro M5 Max 128 gigabytes of RAM with Gemma 4 26 billion. This Gemma 4 26 billion is the AI model that I use on this machine to run Hermes. Okay, so I've been using Hermes with that model since it came out. Okay, now I think it's a month and a half. So I had a lot of experience with it, and I was pretty pleased. So I was really curious to see what this person would find out through these benchmarks, especially because when I bought this, you never know. I thought like, okay, maybe I should spend more and get the MacBook Pro, or should I go for something like this? So I was really curious. So I watched this video, and I'm gonna share in the description a Substack article where I'm gonna share all the data that I present here, plus the link to this video, okay, which you should like and subscribe, because the data is really good. So, but it only shared this data on the MacBook Pro, and then I did the test on here, so now we can compare. So what came out is, what was this benchmark it was doing? So the benchmark was about not just what token per second can the model work, Okay, but also what kind of token per second that model can work at different prompt size, and if the quality of the output from the prompt is actually valuable or not. Okay, is there an error? This is hallucination or whatever. Okay, so that is also the risk, because larger prompt could lead to hallucination and problem and error. So this person ran this benchmark, and of course, like I said, double of the speed, 115 second token per second on the Gemma 4 26 billion. Here we have around 55, 60 token per second, sometimes upper, sometimes lower, but around that number on this machine. So almost double the speed, but something really upsetting happened. So on the MacBook Pro M5 Max, the 128 gigabytes of RAM, when the prompt size reached 32,000 tokens, the output has error. Okay, and that is 32,000 token. It's big, but it's not huge. Okay, think about it. The context window of that we usually have is around 200,000 tokens. And on Gemma 4 should be able to manage 262,000 token context window. 32,000, it's not big at all. But at that size, it would create error, hallucination, and so on. So 60,000 token was the, on this benchmark, was the level where this AI would work at a decent speed, acceptable speed, and without errors. So I was like, wait a second, I never saw this problem with my AI. It was me, I mean, with the same model running on this machine. So I was really curious at that point to understand, is it me not realizing that the AI is telling me, hallucination, and just say, yeah, all good? Or it's better on this machine. So I wanted to test it, and I ran some preliminary test, and then I'm on the article gonna add all the details that I have. Okay, but I wanted to understand: do I have this problem or not? Because I never experienced through Hermes to have this kind of problem. Now, what I found out is this machine can run without any error, even at 261,000 tokens, compared to the 16,000 tokens on the MacBook. That is huge different, but I want to tell you more. So how does it work? Okay, the context window is where we work with AI. And 32,000 is just a partial of it. So you inject that prompt within the AI. Then you send it to the AI, does the process, and send you back. Now, the context window keep growing. When you use AI with agents like Hermes and OpenClaw and so on, what you have, you create a lot of tokens. Okay, because you give tasks to those AI, so they need to think, they need to do things called tools, and so on. Okay, so you burn a lot of tokens. So 16,000 tokens is nothing. It's really nothing. Now, because you start using a lot, what's happening with this context window? The context window usually is set to 200,000 tokens. Okay, OpenClaw by default put it at that size. What is happening when you are around 170? You have 170, 180, the system go into compaction. What is compaction? It's basically taking the raw data, summarizing, and push it back, and removing the old data. In this way, you now have, again, a lot of space. The quality of compaction is extremely important, because that summary contains the elements that should allow AI to carry on working. So a lot of people been experiencing that OpenClaw, for example, would give you such a bad summary that the system just would get lost, forgetting important things, like a suffering of amnesia. And that was connected to the compaction system. This compaction system is used by any kind of ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, everybody using this idea, okay? Because nobody wants to go to a huge context window, because it becomes really expensive. So this is how we save and work Now, the experience of why I'm saying this, because when you use with Gemma 4 with local AI, the size of the context window, the size of those, the number of those tokens change the speed of which you receive the output. So at 192,000 token, okay, which probably is where the compaction is gonna for sure be done. On this machine you would have 20 token per second, okay, which is getting into the frustration level. Why I'm saying this thing? Because even in that video that I'm gonna share, it's this this person said over 30 token per second you start working properly, and you start feeling the frustration. So 20 token per second is in the frustration area. The truth here is, you need to remember that you start, that works at around 60 tokens per second. And then over time, longer it gets this context window, longer it gets this prompt, this back and forth, and the bigger it's going to be. And therefore, it's going to slow down the more you use it to a level to reach frustration level. Then it's going to get compacted, okay, so summarized, and go back into going fast enough. So there is this experience that is not pleasant. Now, if the MacBook would be able actually to work until that kind of a size, then the experience would be better. Because, like I said, the starting point is double of the speed. So let's say that the speed maintained the double means that at around 200,000 tokens, you still have 40 tokens per second. So the experience on those Mac potentially would be better, but in practice, they cannot be used. Okay, that is the, I don't know, extremely frustration for me. So in somehow, I'm super glad I went with this machine. And again, those machines also allow you to do much more experimentation, much more learning. They are much better for AI. Okay, so if you want to learn, get better. If you want to work in with in somehow a system that is more solid, those are better. Now, there is always something that probably you could answer in the comment below. This is depend of the model. Okay, this Gemma 4 create this problem at that kind of size of prompt. Different size create different problem. Okay, different model create different problems. So let me know what you're using. Maybe an alternative to this one, there is the Quen 3.5, I think 35 billion parameter. That one is also fast, and could be maybe a better option than the Gemma. I don't know how it works on your system. For me, I'm really pleased about the Gemma. What I want to share now is something another that is also really important, because there is also something that we need to look at the bigger picture. Okay, why we are using this local model? Why, when for $20 a month you have extremely powerful solution? So it's really, sometimes it's really hard to justify something like this. Okay, in my case, I sleep better. I'm so much happier to have this. I can learn, I can experiment, I can do so many things. So in my case, I'm pretty pleased that I bought this machine. And like I said, I bought this in a scenario where it was on discount. Now it's $1,000 more expensive than when I bought it. And this makes us think also about one thing. Okay, the demand of token is increasing. Okay, the price of those tokens is gonna be increasing. There is more demand than supply. So to meet the demand, they are still investing a lot of billions to build the data center and so on. Anthropic just managed to secure from a deal with Elon Musk a lot of compute, but still it's not going to be enough. Okay, they are buying even from Amazon, even from Google, so they keep buying. Everybody are really in need of a lot of compute. This is happening because corporations understood that they need to implement AI correctly within that system. Because as you and I can produce more and faster and do things that we couldn't do before, the same thing is happening with those corporations. So they can do more, faster and better, and therefore they want it. Now, implementing is difficult and takes time, but we are in an acceleration environment. There is this demand that is growing. How a corporate work? It works in the sense they don't just do a monthly subscription. Okay, they don't work in this way. They need to be sure that if they do this investment, they have enough token to actually run it. So they do a kind of a different kind of deal. They want to secure a specific number of token over a year for a series of years. Okay, because that makes them in a scenario where AI is stable and it's not gonna disappear. So they're gonna pre-buy all those tokens. Now, because of this high demand, the price of token is going to go up. Okay, at the moment today, we have the luxury of having a $20 subscription that gives to us the most powerful AI models, a lot of tokens to use, and basically almost zero friction. Okay, zero privacy, zero sovereignty, but really minimum friction to have something incredible. This is something that we have today. Okay, the price of RAM is going up. The price of electricity is going up. The scarcity of those things is evident. Now, even though it's hard to justify spending so much money for those kind of machine, it feels good and secure to have at least something that this is going to be with me for several years, where at least I know that I can build something with, if can run here, my business, whatever I'm building is secure. Because at the moment it's $20. What's happening when the minimum to use those frontier models is going to be $500 a month, $1,000 a month? We are going to go into a level where it's going to be really expensive. So for us, they're going to offer smaller model at a cheaper price, but for the frontier model, it's going to be expensive, more and more expensive. We see this already with Mythos. Okay, they don't want to even share it with us, but when they're going to share it, they already said it's going to be really expensive. So that is the direction. Okay, they care more about corporation. They care more about selling the token at a higher price, and so on. So this is what is happening, what is building. I'm not saying that now you need to run and buy, spend thousands and thousands on buying, those super powerful computer. But if you're like me, okay, a sort of digital prepper, you want to have a little bit of security. Now, I want to give you this little security without spending so much money. So the easiest thing, also as a good way to start and learning, understanding. Gemma 4 came out with 4 different kind of models. And there are 2 billion, 4 billion, 26 billion, and 31 billion parameters. Okay, the one that I'm focusing on is in the 26 billion, because even though it's 26 billion, is activate 4 billion parameter per time. So it has the speed of a 4 billion model. Okay, while have the intelligence of the 26 billion one. The 31 billion doesn't have this functionality, so you need to load the all at once. So the speed is really, really slow, but it's better, let's say higher intelligence. It's equivalent of Sonnet. We are at that kind of level, more or less. So the thing here, the smaller one instead, they can run this, the 2 billion parameter can run on a mobile phone. Okay, so you can run it, log on your mobile phone and test it and start learning. The 4 billions one probably can run on any kind of computer. So the last two, you can start learning. So how do you run those last two with minimum friction? Okay, so the easiest way is to use LM Studio. It's an app, you download it, it's free. You download it, when you open it tells you which model you want to download. Okay, start from searching for the model. The model you want to download is going to be share what is going to analyze your system and tell you, look, those are the models that are good for you. So you will see probably at the top level, you will going to see this Gemma 4. And if you can run the 4 billion, go with that one. If not, do the 2 billions. Depend on your system, the token per second is going to change. Okay, some is going to be slow, some is going to be faster enough. So it's depend on your system. But for sure, you can start understanding this. And it's not difficult, it's easy, everybody can do it. And you will see the beauty of working with AI locally, that you don't need internet, you don't need anything, and you can do more or less almost, yeah, more or less the basic thing that you do with ChatGTP. Okay, free. And it's, I don't know, I find it amazing. Now have in mind that those are much smaller, less intelligent, and so on, but amazing. Okay, so thanks for staying until the end. Like and subscribe. There is a community that I'd like you to join, which is our community is the Argumentatism community, where people like me, yourself, meeting, discuss AI, discuss local model. We are building together. We are creating ResonantOS. We are building the Resonant DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization where we can own it and work together to build the future that those corporations are destroying. So be part of the movement, be the rebel that is building they are going to build the alternatives, and watch the next video. Ciao.